Hello, magical human, and welcome back to Madison Mindset, the podcast. I'm your host, Madison. I'm a yoga teacher, a mindset and spirituality coach, and an absolute lover of all things nature, natural healing, and returning to ourselves. In this episode, we're going to chat about why main character energy is not the go. Okay, you may have heard this before. Life's a movie, you're the main character. I'm going to show you why that may not be the healthiest mindset to adopt, and I'm going to teach you a much better one that's going to support your well-being and the well-being of the rest of the world. Let's jump in. To really set the scene for this episode, I want to tell you about something that happened while I was in Melbourne. In Melbourne, in cities, which you know, if you've been listening to the podcast in the most recent episodes, you will know why I don't like cities. But something interesting that was happening in Melbourne as I was walking along the streets with my partner, we're just going, from, lights and all the things, crossing the road, dealing with people around you. Something that we noticed quite a bit was this main character energy. And it would be people just being completely inconsiderate. Something about main character energy, which you may have heard, is, you got to put your headphones on and skip down the street like no one's watching and dance and sing and all this stuff. And that's totally fine, except it's a lot of the time it's really inconsiderate, and just hear me out, like there is a lot of stuff on social media of people just dancing in the streets and doing the thing that they do in the streets, and that's totally fine. But if you ever watch any of those videos or actually look at the surrounding of what's happening, like the people around, the people who are dancing with this main character energy, what you actually see is everyone going, what is going on? Like, we're not here for this. I'm not at a concert. I'm just trying to go and get my groceries. I'm just trying to go and pick up my kid. I'm just trying to walk down the street without ending up on social media or some, flash mob video. It's inconsiderate in a lot of ways. I think it has to be, if you're going to be doing that kind of thing and it's like a job or it's a performance of sorts, just be mindful. Be very mindful about how you go about it, because a lot of the time it's just plain inconsiderate. Even in Melbourne, people are just literally like pushing you out of the way. Like I got like shoved a few times with people not even looking, screaming right next to you, or just like so inconsiderate. It's like, can you have a look at what's happening around you and actually see what's happening? Now, this doesn't happen a lot where I live because it's a smaller town, and that kind of thing just isn't, it isn't really, it's not that it's not accepted, but it's not done. If you're walking down the street, you walk with the consideration that you share that street with everybody else. Like walk to your left, get out of the way, make room for people, help people out if they need it. You certainly don't break out into a dance or singing some really inappropriate song when there's children walking down the street as well. It's not a healthy state of being. Okay, so the title of this episode is This Is Not a Movie and You Are Not the Main Character. Okay, so this is not a movie. We're living a life. Something that all these TV shows and movies are teaching us is the lack of connection with reality. We actually have watched so many movies. Like you see this in romance, right? What we expect from romantic relationships is blown out of proportion, and the issues that we have within relationships come up because we're expecting it to go a certain way, or we're saying what we've heard people say on movies, we're doing what we've seen people do on movies, and it just isn't what you're supposed to be doing in real life. It's very disconnected. All right, so that kind of thing gives you a warped version of reality. Okay, if you stop watching movies and you start looking around you, every moment's the present moment. We're all here together doing our best, living one moment to the next. And we're all here together. It's not just you. There are billions of humans on Earth. Like I share this town with 45,000 people, give or take. How many people do you share your home with? You have to think about other people. All right, so to assume that this is a movie, you may not make the choices that you want to make if you think that life is a movie. You may not say the things you want to say if you think life is a movie. Something I hear a lot, especially with clients, is, they're waiting for the right time to say I love you, or, they're just waiting for the right moment, or whatever this is. And it's like the right moment is now. If you love someone or you want to say something to someone, say it now. Now is your best opportunity, your best time. But what do they do in movies? They build it up. Everyone holds their emotions in. No one's going to say how they feel. And then there's a moment where, they're in the middle of an argument and the rain's pouring down, and then they finally say, I love you. This isn't a movie. All right. And that doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. You've got to treat people the way you want to be treated right now. You've got to listen now. You've got to say what you want now. Now is the time. If you keep living like everything's a movie, everything's a TV show, you're going to be so disconnected with what's actually happening in reality. This is something that social media is really stuffing us up as well, especially younger people, because we're assuming that work is now being an influencer and having affiliate links, or, you don't have to work at all anymore, and you don't have to. Yeah, there's just so much warped perception of reality of everything that's going on. Like people, breaking out in dances in the middle of New York City. It's like, is that really what's happening the majority of the time in New York? Like, is that reality? No, it's not. But if you see all of those things, and that's all you see is, influences, and this is my beautiful morning routine, and here's my filter and all this stuff, like it's literally making people depressed because that's just not what's actually happening. Here's how beautiful I am. This is the beautiful dress I go to work in on Mondays. I just work like 2 hours on Tuesdays, and that's it for the rest of the week. This is what people are seeing. This is what young people are seeing a lot of. And it's depressing. I'm quite self-aware. So is my partner, and we talk about it all the time, how much of a struggle it is to stop scrolling on social media. It is so crazy addictive. And why? Is it creating this false sense of reality that you really like, that you're addicted to? Because when you're spending all this time scrolling or watching movies or complaining about life or being disconnected from what's in front of you, you're missing what's here right now. You're missing this moment. And how many hours, how many days, how many weeks, how many years are we letting slip by? Because we're in this weird sense of reality where everything's a movie, and one day, like, my prince will come, and one day everything will just fall into place and we're just in this magical place. It's fine to believe that and to be in that space. And sometimes things do work out that way. But most of the time, you've got to put some effort in as well. This is not a movie. It's life. It's your life. And you know what? We're all here together. There's a lot of lives all together, from the plants around you to the animals to the people to the nature. There's so many lives. And what you also see evidence of is past lives. How many people and animals who have lived and are now not here? That will be you one day. And look, we're still going on, right? After you go, life is still going to continue. Do not get sucked into the idea that this is the movie, because it's not a movie. It's not a movie. You don't get a second chance as the person that you are right now. You don't get that second chance. It's not a movie. This is not a practice run. This is not, this is not what's real in movies. What you see in movies, what you see on social media, what you see influencers doing, what you see in TV shows, what you see in ads, none of that is real. Do not allow yourself to get sucked in, because it doesn't do you any favors. It doesn't do anyone any favors. Now let's jump over into this main character energy. The intention behind be the main character, this energy, the intention is good. When people tell you to have more of a main character energy, if you've heard this in the self-development space, the intention isn't bad. The intention is to get you to have some confidence and to really step up and go, you know what, I'm going to create my life. Like I'm going to go and do the things I need to do and believe in myself and all those things. And that's a great intention. That's perfect. That's great. We should be doing that. We should be going, okay, this is my life. What do I want to do? Work on my self-confidence and show up that way. 100%. But what's actually happening with this main character energy most of the time is that people get self-absorbed. We become completely oblivious to what's happening around us. It's the same as, the people who push past me dancing in the street. Like, excuse me, there's other human beings in this space where we're sharing this. We're not thinking about, how am I affecting other people? How am I affecting animals? How am I affecting nature? How am I affecting my partner? You're not the main character. If you're the main character and you have a partner, who are they? Are they a secondary character? If you have a child, are they now the secondary? Or what kind of character are they? It's not a healthy state of mind to be in. it's just not a healthy state of mind to be in. It won't do you any favors. You'll lose friends, you'll lose relationships, you'll lose connection. And losing connection with the real world is not going to help you create your dreams. You know, having a confident sense of self and belief in yourself, and you're going to make moves to, change your life, or you're going to apply for that job, or, you know, achieve that goal, or, whatever you want to do, like go for it 100%, have a great time with it. You should do that. But you're not the main character. We're all here together, sharing this space together. And the path that you want may be yours for sure, but you're going to have to share that road. No one has a private highway. We're all here together. We all have different dreams, desires, and beliefs. You're going to have to work with the rest of the world as well. We're all here. We all get to live a life together. How beautiful is that? Now, here's the issue with being in the main character energy as well. Besides becoming self-absorbed and completely ignorant to the fact that there are other people around who might need support or help or whatever it is, maybe instead of swinging into that car space, even though there's an old lady trying to park, maybe you back off and let her have the space. If you're in main character energy, how are you going to even see the old lady? Seriously, like you've got to step back, okay? So besides that, it's also incredibly isolating. Being the main character, do you really want that? Where everyone else just isn't at your level, doesn't understand, they're just not as important. You're the most important person. When you're in I'm the most important person energy, even it doesn't mean you're a bad person. We just get blurred. I've been there. We've all been there before, right? You get a blurry sense of reality. I'm the most important person. When you're there, that's the most lonely time of your life. It's so lonely because no one understands you. No one gets you. No one understands what you're going through. You have to fix everything, and you don't have genuine connection with people because most of the time you're using people. How does being friends with this person make me look? How does being with this partner make me look? How does posting this nude photo on Instagram make me look? It's all about attention and what am I, how can I, it's all about me. It's never about, am I being a good partner for my partner? Am I being a good parent for my child? Am I being a good role model on social media? Am I promoting something that makes people feel good genuinely, or am I promoting more of a problem? We've got to think about this stuff, okay? Because right now, social media is a disaster. Everyone's promoting, look at me, give me money, look at this gorgeous outfit I bought that no one else can afford, but I have it, go and use my link, go and do this stuff, come here, go there, you want more followers. It's very so superficial, buy this, buy that. It's sad because everyone who has a social media account has a responsibility because whatever you put up has the chance to be seen by many people, including children, including your future children if you don't have any yet, including your parents, including people on the other side of the world who have no idea who you are. They could be seen by anyone. Are people better off having seen your piece of content, what you're promoting, or are they now worse off? We've got to think about this stuff. Okay, so what can we do instead of main character energy? I want to design a life that I love, but I want to, be involved with the community. I want to be part of something. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to feel like I can't create decent relationships or connections or feel like it's just me against the world. What can I do? Okay, well, why don't you come back to what yoga recommends, oneness. We're all here together, doing our best, playing our part. We're all making mistakes. Some of us are covering for each other, right? Where you have a downfall, someone else is really good at what you're bad at. We mush together so beautifully, okay? So what if you're part of the greater whole, we're all here together, and hopefully we leave this world and each person better than how we found it, better than how we found them, okay? Each moment. So when you've got a dream, can you ask yourself, what is my service to the world? What do I want to teach? What do I want to give? What kind of experience do I want people to have? How do I want to make people feel? Because whether you're making products, providing services, doing performances, creating art, whether you're just, going to work and showing up and being a parent, whatever it is, you are influencing people, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you're influencing in every moment. So start to ask yourself the question, what's my service? What's my role? And how can I best get that out there? How can I best show up for people? Stay on everyone else's level and then provide the service you provide. How does that make us better as a whole? How does you achieving your dream make us better as a whole? If you come from that energy, one, you'll never be alone. Two, you will succeed. And three, you will have left the world a better place. It's perfect, right? Okay, so I hope this episode makes you reflect on this whole be the main character, I am, this is my movie, I'm making my life. I hope it helps you reflect. And if you've been feeling the pressure to kind of create that main character energy, let this be your permission to go, no, it's not natural. You're not the main character. You do have your own life and you get to create what you want for sure, but you're still part of the whole. If it was my dream to, cause destruction in the world in some way, can't think of an example off the top of my head, but say whatever my dream is really destructive. If I succeed in my dream, it's destructive to everyone else. It could cause massive suffering. Would you want me to succeed? No, of course you wouldn't, right? But if I have a dream that is going to help the world, would you want me to succeed? Yes. So same with you. Exact same back at you. Whatever dream you've got, I hope, whatever your dream is, whatever your desire is, whatever kind of service you provide, whatever product you create, if it's something that benefits the world, benefits all of us, I hope you succeed. I really do. But if it's something that's causing damage, that's not serving the greater purpose, that's causing destruction, then I hope it flops. I really do. And I'm sure that if you were honest, you would say the same. So let's work together. Let's come together as human beings, as beings of beautiful Mother Earth, and let's create together. Let's create together. We're all here to live a beautiful life, find joy, find peace, enjoy just being here and with the beautiful people that you have around you. But let's nurture our relationships well as part of a team, not because you're the main character and you deserve whatever it is, but because we all deserve something beautiful. Let's create and shoot for the stars for all of us. Let's really do that, because if you can do that, then you're going to cheer everyone else on and everyone else is going to cheer you on. You're never going to feel alone and it's all going to feel aligned. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, Magical Human. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you something to reflect upon. I have 30-minute free coaching sessions open for you right now. I am currently filling a program called Anxiety to Abundant. Anxiety, she's my jam. That's my experience. That's the big thing that I was looking to heal my relationship with when I stepped into the yoga and personal development world. I am now wanting to share what I have learnt and to guide other human beings who are struggling with anxiety back to a state of abundance and togetherness. If you are currently struggling with anxiety, I'm offering you a free 30-minute coaching call. You can go down below, find a time that works for you, and I'll see you on Zoom. We're going to chat. I want to know about your experience. What have you been feeling? And I'm going to hopefully provide you with some great ideas or suggestions for developing your connection with abundance and peace right now. Okay, if you are aligned for anxious and abundant, I will offer the program, but it's not for everyone. My gift to you is the 30-minute coaching call. So go down below and book your call now before spots fill up. I really appreciate you for being here. Please share this episode, share it to your Instagram stories and tag me at Madison_mindset. I'll send you all so much love for sharing the podcast. I appreciate it so much. I wish you a beautiful week. Love.